Right, this is my first video in a week, and my first video this week. So basically, I want to do a quick long form. It's day 60 of my 64-day challenge. I'm about to go London for 4 days, 3 nights, and I feel like I've hit my financial stability mark. And yeah, I'm trying to look into quit this van life real soon, just literally at that turning point. Anyone knows I've got a new place now. That's obviously gonna help me get my mortgage and help me out securing the dress. But we're hitting the stumbling block, and that's the point, right? It's crazy. It's like you worked so hard to get to this point, and now we're sitting here waiting to earn it, right? Because we got to keep that. That's not easy to get it, right? So credit is one of the most fundamental things you can have as an individual. So my credit history isn't the best, right? And we're building that right now. Got my credit card and using that wisely. Um, so I'm at a point where I paid 1 month's deposit and then I paid my holding deposit. So I viewed the property, everything's fine, right? So obviously I've got one CCJ. That CCJ, just that CCJ unsettled, is holding me back. So mainstream lenders, especially estate agents who vet through third parties, they have a strict criteria. So there's a lot of things I'm learning that I didn't know, right? So on this whole journey, right, of me trying to secure this property and go to the next stage, I've realized there's something called renter guarantee insurance, which doesn't allow them to take tenants or their insurance becomes valid in void because they're taking tenants with adverse credit, right? Didn't even know that. So I'm here looking for a second opinion. The guy's obviously speaking to the landlord saying, okay, what else can you do? So they've still got my money. It's been about a week. And yeah, like I said, I've filed all the information. And there's another thing I didn't know. So along with that, you need a guarantor, right? So this has been another thing. I've been trying to get guarantors. I have people on one side where they don't want to risk it, or they're just not in a position to do it. Like, I've asked many people, either they got bad credit or they don't earn enough income. So a guarantor is someone that was liable to pay your rent if you don't make a payment, right? So long story short, there's companies out there called renter guarantee companies. You pay them a certain amount a month, and that acts as your guarantor. So again, they didn't even know that. So they're primarily for people that don't live in this country because UK um, residents are only people that can be guarantors. And obviously students that are traveling and whatever, they got people abroad that they can't be guarantors. So this is how it works. And obviously I'm here on the other side thinking, okay, if I managed it later on down the line and I had a letting company and I was a tenant, how would it work? How would I look at it from the tenant's eyes, right? So I'm running it through Claude, running it through ChatGPT, looking at it from the landlord's eyes. So when I looked at my situation, where in terms of, they don't care if I'm sleeping in the van. They don't care if I live 5 minutes from the work. They wouldn't care if I can afford it, number one, which is already done. And they want to make sure that, this person's history with debt is healthy, right? And I know everything's in context. And that's why I'm trying to get the letting agent to go straight to the landlord to put it into context. And yeah, so it's like looking at it on that point of view in terms of they've got a mortgage on this house. So I'm like, okay, if I'm paying them, if I'm working at the yield all now. So whether they brought that years ago, or whether they brought it when they had money, whatever, this person obviously is got a mortgage on this property. So if they don't pick me, we're gonna go find somebody else. That's gonna take more time. I'm at the decision making stage, so it doesn't make sense, right? From a landlord, it's a risk anyway. Let's be honest, it is a risk for them. But to go and try and find somebody, right, with good credit. Actually, no, let's just put this out there. So people with good credit can still be late on payments, and people with bad credit can still make payments. It's not a hard and fast rule, right? But at the end of the day, everyone needs opportunities, everyone needs chances, and I just feel like I'm going to come across tenants in the future that need that. That doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means that they've had a bad past and they're trying their best to fix it. So anyway, once I get that property, man, I feel like Q2 has been amazing for me. I feel like April, May, June, I got a new job, right? And then May, bam. Then I got a second job, the sales job, which is going well, by the way. Just trying to get my teeth sunk in. And obviously, because this wasn't even a plan, by the way, I just went on right move because that's what I'm doing. That's a job. And just on a random, I just went on to one bedroom flats in this area and I found this property literally down the road. So it's a no brainer, right? My rent with my two incomes already is under 30%. So that already hit the affordability check. So when I'm giving them the pay slips and even my two jobs that I've got, that they're willing to provide me references. One's already done one in a letter, and one's gonna do one over the phone. So I'm now counteracting, and that is sales. You are your number one sales. Like when I'm learning sales and I'm listening to the Seller Be Sold now by Grant Cardone again, just put my head in the game. It's like everything is sales. Life is sales. And at the end of the day, it's like I'm using this now as a guinea pig. I'm saying, okay, well, if someone's first on the face of it said, well, adverse credit buy, I'm like, okay, look at this in context. At the end of the day, I'm willing to pay this rent. I'm willing to move in this property. And at the end of the day, they don't know this, but I need an address. I need somewhere, a fixed abode that I can use to start building up a history. And obviously having a fixed abode helps me with my mental health. There's so many things. And I've done this for 17 months. This ain't a joke, right? So obviously it's an investment. I could be saving that money, but me doing it ain't a problem. I've been uncomfortable. I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable. The issue is being caught. I ain't got no. It's not worth the van getting taken away. It's not worth, you know, anything like that. It's not worth someone catching me and you have to go somewhere else and it's a mess, right? It's only so long you can do it for. Even me sitting there thinking, okay, before this happened, I was saying, okay, cool, let's just stack my bread to the end of the year and then force myself to get a yard. Nah, man, sit down, get a yard, get me. And like, obviously, it's unfurnished. So, I'm in that stumbling block now. And I've got, what, 4 days left and I'm going to London. So it's going to be tight. So I'm going to be waking up. It's my last night in the casino tonight and I'll be off for basically 10 days. I'm up in the arcade for the 3 days before I go. And then the last day, that's my last day before I leave to go that evening to London. Working in the Ascot, 3 days, hiring a car. Never done that before. And yeah, doing that, got a hotel for a couple of nights. You know me, man, I want to stand on my own too. I ain't here to be asking for nothing, right? So obviously everyone's literally begging me to stay at the house. So I'm like, you don't even have a spare room. And the whole point in this is to be that first buck thousand billionaire. And when I say that, I mean like right now I'm trying to get a guarantor and everyone's in the same situation, grown people. So I'm thinking, bro, we cannot live like this generationally, next generation, bro. We need to change this and changing it is learning. That's why I'm doing these videos. I'm putting out all the information I'm learning in real time. Building credit is fundamental. Once my CCJ is gone, my credit card, use that wisely, in about 6 months to a year, that gives a great time span of borrowing and paying back money. So I'm in a situation now where I'm making a great turning point in my life. I'm gonna get a new van next month because I get a double pay month, along with my second job every week. And then obviously I'm trying to get myself a girl, man. And that might sound crazy, like, why you mean a girl? Like the right girl will push you forward. Girls that love my ambition, girls that love my drive, girls that are attracted to the man I already am. I'm not trying to fish girls. I'm not trying to make someone like me or convince people. At the end of the day, I'm here building. I don't need the fly by night girls, really. I need someone that's focused, someone that's young, someone that's building, and someone that can, build a life with for about 4 or 5 years and then create a family, on the way. Because I'm still building. I haven't done nothing yet. Still works hard to get to this point. And this is a big mountain. Don't get it twisted. But I've got to be able to maintain these for a year, keep my property for a year, keep my new van for a year, keep that girl for a year. Everything is about sustainability. So I'm here ready to go to work. So I'm just gonna just get something to eat, get ready, and then yeah, just do my shift tonight. I don't know what else to say, man. It's been a week. I've done no sales this week. I've been focused on the property. That has been back and forth, filling up application. I'm about to pull up actually on Monday morning to this stage and be like, look, you've held my money for 2 weeks. The last thing you said to me, you're gonna get back to me. So I'm about to, they haven't said no. So end of the day, that property is still sitting there. I walk past it every single day. So I'm just really pushing myself to really get in there ASAP, get all my stuff moved in. I got this whole load at the back just to get loaded in there. And now my stuff's safe and I can go back to London. That's the aim. Go back to London with the property, keys in hand, signed tenancy, done. Now I've got an address. Now I can move forward and now I can do what I'm doing. This is a great milestone. I'm proud of myself and I'll see you on the other side.